Hey, everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with the Tuesday edition of Today in Sports Betting. And it's kind of a light day, Scott. As always, this is Scott Reichel, by the way. You know him, you love him. We're going to talk about a little NBA, and I mean very little NBA, because we don't have a ton of games, and we don't have a ton of lines. We don't have any college basketball, and
We have
I hate hockey. So, no, I'm kidding.
We have CPI at basketball, actually. You have the semifinals of one of the smaller tournaments, but I feel like
of the what?
The CBI has the semis.
Dude, I got no lines on those. I looked that up. I tried to get a schedule.
It was on covers. It was on covers.com. I wrote an article on both games. So
what are the games?
You have Pepperdine playing against Bellarmine, and you have Stetson going up against Coastal Carolina. And I'm pretty sure the spreads are kind of even on both. It's Pepperdine -6.5, Coastal -7. So they're kind of in the same ballpark.
Yeah, I liked Pepperdine. I liked him today over Longwood, and they finally pulled away. They jacked around with them for a little while. Man, you know what? I did not see that. If it ain't on my book, it ain't a game to me. And
I'm just telling you, technically there's college basketball, but nobody really noticed.
Yeah, there is. No, I wanted no part of that. Okay. No, okay. Fair enough.
We'll only talk about NBA, so you don't have to really worry about it. But I'm just throwing it out there. If you do want college, you do have 2 games to choose from.
That's right. Oh, you're right. You're right. So yeah, I've already said there's no college ball, but that's going to be on my video. So now I look like a wanker.
There's no NCAA tournament games.
I know there's. Shut up.
I'm just trying to help you out, man.
I thought the CBI was coming back Wednesday. I thought they played Wednesday, Thursday. I thought they took a day off. Well, just for that, I'm going to put you on the spot. Give me a hockey play.
Well, looking at hockey, I actually have to pull up the entire card here. I'll ask you first because I have to actually pull up the card for a second.
Avalanche Coyotes under 5.5.
Okay, and for this one, I will look to. You know what? I'm actually going to take a team that's been pretty underwhelming this season, but has actually played a little bit better lately. I'm going to take Nashville. I know that Detroit's obviously one of the worst teams in all of hockey. They're terrible. Nashville's not very good, but Nashville actually has looked pretty good over the last week or so. And Nashville's laying, but they had a nice win against the Stars the other day. Kind of came from behind there. I think they'll ride the momentum. I'll go with Nashville.
All right, very good. All right, good enough. All right, now moving on to basketball, starting with the first game that's going to be on the TV there, Scott. It's going to be Lakers and Pelicans. This is would have been a pretty fun game to see. The up-and-comer versus the old head. The old head, however, has got old injuries or new injuries, whatever the case may be. So it's not going to be quite the star power that TNT was hoping for when they booked this game. As the Lakers go against the Pelicans, -6. 222. My favorite room and my favorite number is your total. Scott, there's a lot to like about these Pelicans, but not on the defensive side of the ball. So I think this is a good matchup for them because LA, you know what? Their offense sucked before LeBron got hurt. And I think it's really going to be in a world of trouble without him. They're going to have to count on
Kuzma.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's
Kuzma and Schroeder and a little bit of Montrezl Harrell. That's pretty much it.
Yep, and Montrezl Harrell is going to have to carry the water in this one. The Lakers should be able to keep it close. I do have a premium on this one. At the end of the day, they've got the experience and everything where they, and they got the defense, and that's what I think is going to be the real value here is going to be able to play the Lakers playing the defense. I don't think they're going to be able to score. I think they're going to slow this game down. I think they're going to play pretty decent defense. It's not like LeBron was adding a ton on the defensive side of the ball at this time of the year. I think that 222 is a little high. I would play the under there.
I think we're going to disagree a little bit on the total. With New Orleans, I have kind of been programmed to automatically bet the over every time they play.
I get that.
Looking at this match in particular, at the end of the day, it does come down to pace. And I do think that as New Orleans is going to continuously try to go up and down, I think the Lakers should try to slow it down. But at the end of the day, you take AD and LeBron, who, don't get me wrong, LeBron can, of course, run in transition, but I think he definitely prefers to play in the half court. I think they're going to open it up a little bit. I saw this similar Kings team the similar Lakers team without LeBron and without AD a couple of weeks ago play against the Kings, who also play up tempo, and that game got into the 240s. So I have seen the Lakers without these two be willing to actually partake in an up tempo style of play, and I think that New Orleans, of course, is going to force it. The question is, the Lakers defense tends to be pretty good, but you got Zion, and Montrezl Harrell is a player that I always really liked. Having said that, I feel like last year kind of exposed him as the abysmal defender that he is. I don't know who's going to guard Zion. I don't know who's going to guard Ingram. Even Lonzo Ball, even though he's been rumored to be traded every single day for the last month, has actually been really good for them. I think New Orleans is going to win the game. I think that this game might be close for maybe a half, but I think New Orleans will blow it away late. I also like the over. It really wouldn't surprise me if New Orleans scores 120 points here. I know that the Lakers this season have been very good defensively, but with the pace and the fact that this team really lost its best defenders besides Schroeder, I just think they're going to have a lot of problems, especially with Zion playing point guard. It's just really going to be a problem for the Lakers to actually match up with this team.
Well, couple fighting trends there. The Pelicans, good at home, 17-4 to the over, 13-4 with a total is 220 or higher. Lakers on the other side of that equation, 4-15 to the over on the road, just 1-9 in road games where the total is 220 or higher. So I just think the Lakers are going to struggle on the offensive side of the ball, and I think the defense will be able to take care of business. I could certainly be wrong, and this one could certainly end up in the 230s, but I'll play the under here with my better play on the premium side.
Yeah, I think it's actually worth mentioning that Lonzo is questionable for this game with a hip injury, and I do think that his status is worth monitoring. I know I've roasted Lonzo in years past. He's had a very good year. I got to give him credit for it. So him being out actually matters. So keep that in mind. And if Lonzo has announced that he's going to be playing, I do think this line will probably climb.
Very good. Okay. And he is. I when I read about it, the last report that I got looks like he is going to play.
It seems like he will be, but it's just worth monitoring.
So yeah, we'll see. What kind of point differential does that make for you?
I think it matters because I think Lonzo is a good defensive point guard. Is he a great defensive point guard? No, but if you match him up with Schroeder, he's got a pretty nice height advantage there. If I've had to actually factor in Lonzo's value in this matchup, I would say 1.5. I think he has some value to him, especially this season. In previous years, I would have said nothing. But you also have the Lakers with an issue because Marc Gasol might not play. I know that Gasol, of course, is a shell of his former self. But when the Pelicans thrive on paint points, when you have even Adams, who's a stiff, but he still, can hit layups and dunks, Zion, who shoots about 60-something% from the floor, Ingram, who can drive, even Jackson Hayes, who can dunk at the rim. Do the Lakers have any rim protectors left on the roster?
No, and we talk about this a lot. They're just, no, they don't.
I just think it's a bad matchup for the Lakers because they can't protect the paint. That's the only thing the Pelicans actually want to do. So that's how I look at the game.
Okay. All right. Good enough. The other TV game, Scott, is going to be the 76ers and the Warriors. And we've got one line. You've got a line that just came out at FanDuel on this.
Yeah.
The problem is, don't have a status for Steph Curry. Still fighting that coccyx issue. And he's questionable for this game. And you've got Warriors what?
I see Warriors +3.
Against the Sixers without Embiid.
Yeah.
I'm not touching it without knowing the status of Curry.
Correct.
You want anything to do with it?
I don't think Curry's going to play. But if I had to actually
what do you base that on?
Because Golden State without him actually looked pretty good for about a game and a half against Memphis. I don't know if they're going to rush him back. I know that Golden State, I don't know. Maybe it's just a hunch. I just don't think they're going to try to force him back. But I also want to look briefly at Golden State's schedule because if they play a back-to-back, there's a good chance he won't play tonight and he'll play the game after instead. So let me check that.
They do not play a back-to-back. Play a back-to-back the next two.
Yeah, they play Tuesday, Thursday. So, that's kind of a tough one.
Yeah, they play Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, by the way.
He might play this one and Thursday and then skip Friday.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough travel day too because they play They play in Sacramento on Thursday night and then fly to Atlanta to play Friday night.
Yeah, it's not a great spot, but
no, that's going to be worth monitoring right there. I hope I can. I'm going to make a note about that because that's going to be a really bad spot taking on the Red Hot Hawks.
Atlanta screwed me today. I got a Suns ticket to win the division. They're up 15 at the half against the Clippers, and they blow it. They got outscored by 17 in the fourth quarter.
Oof.
That wasn't a fun time. But still, at this individual matchup, right now, assuming that Curry's not going to play for the sake of just assuming it,
okay,
I'm going to take Philly. Philly has actually looked pretty good without Embiid.
Yep.
They win games. They play good defense. And we've seen time and time again, Golden State might have a great player, Draymond Green, who has actually played really well for the last 2 months or so. The supporting cast isn't very good. I know Wiggins had 40 2 games ago against Memphis. Congrats to him. Game after, he regressed a little bit back to what he normally does. But I look at the rest of the roster, and if Curry isn't going nuts, this team isn't very good. It's just the way it is. So Philly can actually buckle down defensively. They can still get production from Tobias Harris. Has actually been really good this year. Ben Simmons is still solid, and Simmons also a great on-ball defender who I think could make life difficult for Curry, especially right off an injury. So I think that Curry might struggle if he does play. I'll assume he's not going to for the sake of this topic, but I'm going to lean to Philly. I like what I've seen from Philly without Embiid.
By the way, both Currys are questionable.
Yeah.
It's not just Steph Curry, it is Seth Curry as well for the Sixers. Yeah, the Sixers have done a nice job, and they really, like you said, they've been doing it on the defensive side of the ball. They've given up less than 110 for 7 straight games. That's going to win you some games in the NBA, and that's why they won 6 of those 7 games. So, yeah, they're winning, they're covering. They cover when they lose. They covered against Milwaukee the other night off of a 4-point loss. So yeah, I think that's a solid play. Definitely keep an eye on Steph Curry and see what happens there, because I think if Steph Curry comes back, this is pretty close to pick him.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Okay. All right, sir. Anything else on the card before we rock out of here? Anything else on the card get you going?
Well, looking at the actual card, my question to you is: how do you feel about laying 7.5 with Denver?
I don't like it. I mean, I wanted to like it. That was the first game I looked at when I was handicapping this card, and I really thought I was going to fall in love with Denver, but I don't like. They've been playing well lately, but they haven't been covering the number. Man, they've struggled. They've struggled to cover.
I feel the same way. Orlando's not very good.
And Orlando doesn't win, but they cover.
They have Aaron Gordon back. They've looked better lately, but I still don't think they're very good. But I kind of also wanted to talk about Denver because I know that Jokic, of course, in the MVP discussion is around even money, around plus 110, depending where you shop, around even minus 110. My question for you, does he really deserve to be that high? Because I don't see it. I know that his numbers are nuts, and I know that process of elimination, like a bunch of people got injured, and now he's the clear favorite. Is Denver even that good? Don't you have to actually be on a solid team in order to actually win the MVP based on history?
Yeah, unless you really, really stand out, but Denver, they're fine. They're solidly there, about where they were last year. They're fifth. They're fifth in the West.
Mm-hmm.
2 games back of the Clippers, 2.5 back of the Lakers. Both of those teams are catchable, I think. The Jazz are starting to fade a little bit. So, they're. What's that?
Just wondering. Do you think minus 110 is a little bit too low? Because I think
absolutely. Yeah, that's nobody should be minus money right now. The MVP race, not this year. I think you
should be around plus 175.
I was going to say 200, but yeah. Still think Harden's the play there, bud.
Harden's 11-1 on FanDuel.
That's what I'm saying.
I can't really disagree with that.
You like him for this game?
Not really.
Yeah.
Denver's one of those teams you just said. They seem to find ways to win games late, but I feel like they're constantly doing decently and then giving up a massive run randomly in the third quarter and then going a pretty decent run in the fourth quarter to win the game but not cover. I feel like every Denver game comes down to the last possession or goes to overtime. Feels that way.
Yeah, I know. Now they have done well. They had a little 5-game road trip here the end of February to start off March. They won all 5 of those games. They did cover 4 of them. One of them was as a dog against Milwaukee.
Mhm.
Covered 6.5 against OKC. Covered 4.5 against the Bulls. Covered 3.5 against Indianapolis. Yeah, they've struggled at home lately, but still, I don't trust this Denver team. I just don't trust them to put teams away. That's not what they do. It doesn't seem to be in their DNA. They toy with them like the cat toying with the mouse. Sometimes the mouse gets off the deck and runs away, and the cat's left looking stupid. But most of the time, it just prolongs the agony. That's where this metaphor runs out of gas. So, yeah, I would. That's why I pass there. It's the Nuggets are pass, but I'm gonna pass.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. Anything else?
No, not really. I think the Phoenix Miami game is the sleeper game of the day. But I saw that line was around pick'em around Miami -1. I'd probably lean to Phoenix there actually, because Miami kind of struggled a little bit against Indiana over the weekend. They didn't really look that sharp. Should be a very good game. So I definitely want to. I'm not going to bet on it, but I definitely go out of my way to watch that. But I think it's a good game. I have no actual value on betting any side, but I do think that's a pretty solid, underrated game to actually just watch as a fan.
Yeah, this is a Phoenix team that's been monsters against the number, 28-13 against the spread, 14-4 against teams with winning records. So they've been able to step up when the situation is called for it. And you say you do have a line on that?
I saw around Miami -1 on FanDuel.
Okay. Yeah, I would have to go Phoenix there. Miami's lost 3 straight, failed to cover all his.
By the way, how about quick shout out to Toronto? You sabotaged history today.
I didn't see it. Did they end up losing to Houston?
Houston covered the first half and won the full game.
There you go. Broke this. The string is over.
Yeah, I think Toronto's lost 9 in a row. Kyle Lowry's probably on his way out.
Well, you and I talked about that on the radio show, by the way, every Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. at WWPR 1490 in Tampa. But we found it hard to believe that a Toronto team that had lost 8 straight was an 8.5 point favorite, even over Houston.
Made no sense.
No, it really did. And I think we've still leaned Toronto just because of history, but
I actually never gave out a lean. I purely just said
it was nothing we wanted to get involved in.
I said that I passed, and if you actually wanted to bet on this game, I said you should probably go to see therapy.
Yeah, that's right. That was the one I said. If you insist on betting in this game, it may be time to go to a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, there you go. Well, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. Kind of a short show. For myself, for Scott Reichel, for all of us over here at Winners and Winers, we appreciate you watching. Of course, we wish you nothing but the best. We hope every one of those tickets in your pocket turns into cash money back at the window. You guys have a great day. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check us out on the radio. Don't forget to send us $5. No, that's not right. No, you guys are great. We appreciate all the thumbs up. We appreciate all the comments, and hope you have a great day. And Scott and I will be back tomorrow on Today in Sports Betting. See ya.